Hello there, Dr. Phil here again. I'm just at my new lapidary bench. I'm just admiring everything, wondering what I should tell you about it. I'm thinking of doing a bit of a test opal today, just a test, but I thought I might just go through a few of the features of my lapidary setup just so that you understand what's going on. So I'll start off with the spare stuff, which is over here. Now, Roy once told me that he just stuck some Dopsticks into some foam, and that's how he does most of his dopping, etc., etc. And I think that's a great idea. So what I did was just got some stuff called spacing fader or expanding foam, shoved it in an ice cream container, and that's where all of my spare Dopsticks go. Now, it's a little bit more involved if we're actually talking about our opals, which we're starting to complete. So the shaped opals actually go here, and you can see all these holes drilled in just a piece of timber. And I've now stuck some pieces of sandpaper on here to show what I'm dealing with. So these ones are for the start and the 80 to 600 grit opals, and then we move over to here. We've progressed a little bit. These are the 1000 grit opals, and once you've done them a little bit, you go up to 2000 grit, and once they're shined a little bit more, 3000 grit. Yep, and I do this 4000 grit, and then finally 5000 grit and the cerium oxide. So the equipment used, fairly simple. This is just an ordinary desk sander. Now, you know about the cable issue. I've figured out a solution to that, but that's not happening right away. I'll deal with that later. There's still a lot of stuff that's just sitting around here on the ground. A lot goes into these things. I've been just thinking about everything that I need to do. You know, this is where all of the rubs go. So I've got this container just full of rubs at the moment. I haven't finished the painting of this yet, but at least it's protected from the rain. So the other thing that I've got here is there's an angle of a bench grinder which is down there still. I've got to deal with that. There's a few other innovations. So I've got this. This is just an ordinary mouse pad, and this is a Dremel. You may have seen a Dremel before. I'll show you from this angle. What I'm doing is simply do this, put this, I've set the Dremel tool up and I spun it a bit, and then I cut a little bit of a hole in that, and now I can just hang this on there. And so when I put this onto the posterity observation and recall attachment, we now have a completely black background. And what I can do is now I can set up our our thumbnails for our opals. By the way, this is the test opal. So there's our test opal thumbnail, for example. So, you know, got that. I'm not going to do that because look at that horrible thumbnail. Next time you see a video, hopefully I will have trimmed my nails. Anyway, that's what guitarists do. We tend to have long nails on the right hand side. But anyway, this is the opal that I'm going to be dealing with anyway. Take that off. There are a few other things that I would like to show you as well. I've got a sandpaper cleaning kit. So we've looked at this one before. This is the most dodgy of them, and so I'm testing the setup. I'll explain some of those features to you in a second. So I'm looking at this, and you can see that this particular opal has got a piece of sand just sitting there, but there's just this little piece of sand that's just sitting underneath there. Just underneath, and I really kind of like it. What I can also see is I can see where the sand is going. This sand is actually angling away. Let me see if I can point it out. It's angling down like this across here. So if you can see that, we've got a nice kind of glassy front. We've got some black opal which is sitting pretty much in there. And so I was thinking, for your viewing entertainment, I'm going to take a risk today. What I'm going to do is, I see this sand here, right here. I'm going to bisect this piece of precious opal, and this is just the most risky maneuver because there's a good chance that this bit will shatter when I do that. Bisect, cut straight through to that piece of sand there, all the way through to the back. I'm going to try and do that. If that works out, what I'll do is I'll have a nice little piece of opal here, which I will then shape. Possibly double it because I'm reckoning the potch is actually back there. And the hope is, and this is only a hope, that underneath this chunk that I've just cut up will be an even better chunk of opal which I can carve into a gem. So we might be able to get two for the price of one, or a complete dismal failure. Either way, it's entertaining for the YouTube crowd, isn't it? So $20 US, I think, is how much this thing cost. What do you reckon is going to happen? Pause. Write what you think is going to happen in the comments, and we'll see if your prediction is active. Active? We'll see if your prediction is accurate. I wonder if I'll edit that one out in post. So let's set this thing up. Before I say anything, or before I do anything, this is just an ordinary Dremel, and this has been used for quite some time. So it's a plated diamond cutting bit, and this is really smooth now, but I don't mind. Smooth is actually better for cutting because it doesn't seem to cause as many problems. Also, I'll just go up a bit. This is a fan, obviously, and what it does is actually blows all the dust downwards into this little tray here. It works quite spectacularly well. I've tried it before, and you'll see it. I might get some more. Actually, I'll show you now. If you ever go to Lightning Ridge, you can get this material. It's just outside the information station. You can get heaps of it because, like, there's a hunt for opals kind of activity that you can have. So you get this crumbly rubbish, and hopefully there might be an opal in there. But it definitely demonstrates the point. I'll turn this fan on. I wonder if that's vibrating through the microphone. It may well be that while the fan's running I can't actually do a commentary, but we'll find that one out. Safety is far more important than sound. So here we go. Can you see all the dust actually blowing downwards? Practically no dust on the top, heaps of dust down. So that means that you should wear masks and stuff, because I could see dust flicking around, so I will grab a mask. But you can see how the majority of that is actually blowing away from me now. That's precisely what I was hoping for. So you can see, yeah, you can see down there. It's all blown in there, it's all blown in there. Practically none is on the top here. That's exactly what I wanted. So, enough of that, let's do the main event. Okay, the big reveal. Was I correct? Dip them. Let's have a look. Not looking particularly good, is it? Let's have a look over here. We'll do this bit first. Looks like we're out of precious opal here. Oh, no fun, no fair. That's okay. What I'll do is I'll grind the back of this into dust and see what's there. But that probably isn't the main event. Let's have a look at this guy. We officially have a conundrum. What I'll do is I'll very carefully just shape it. I'll make it round. And then we'll worry about what to do with it, because it's clearly double-sided. Which side's the best side? So let's have a little bit of a chat. Now, what I'm hoping in this channel is not to be the opal expert. I am just a soil scientist. Actually, while we're here, I said I'd trim my nails. Let's see if this works. Yeah, not bad. I'll put the oxide on later. Okay, so anyway, so what I was saying is that I'm not, going to be the expert in Opal channel. I'm going to be the democracy of Opal channel, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. But please, please tell me what you reckon you would do in my circumstance. Is that a nice deal? Good. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to make this into 2 opals, and the 2 opals are going to be one demonstration piece, which I like, which has got all the sand in it. So this side here will be one side. Be a nice little sandy beach scene. But this one, that's just a black opal, isn't it? So what I'll do is I will cut as much of the sand off as possible. I'm wondering if I can even cut it kind of at an angle. Because if I cut it like that, I've got... I think that piece is pretty useless, so I'm not going to worry too much. So we'll cut it long ways. So this will be 1.5 carat stone if I don't do much. That'll be 1 carat stone, 1.5 carats. And underneath it might be a double-sided one, but I'm not going to worry too much about the back. But I will just clean up the back now. So choose your own adventure. We have a problem, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Try and get it for you. There it is. Got some nice colour there. Let's have a look at this. Let's really seriously have a look at this. Okay, so before I'm going to embark on the other plan of action, we're just going to have a look at this other side. We're going to look at the reverse side, just make sure that we're not missing anything. This bit's going to have to go. It's going to make it perilously close to bad. But I think it's worth it. Bearing in mind that this is actually the more useless part of this one, which, if you remember the previous episode, no problem whatsoever making a gem out of that. So what I'll do is I'll continue to clean up the back and have a look what the back looks like, and then we'll see what happens on the front. May have to change the plan again. Next decision point. I am reasonably certain that this piece of sand here goes through all the way. I am going with... I'll keep cutting for a little while, grinding this away, but I'm actually going to cut that off if necessary, I think. Cut that off. What's this sand doing here? Yeah. So this is going to be a smaller gem, but I think it's... Well, we'll see. We'll see. If that magically clears up, which I don't think it will, because I can literally see the other side. If that magically clears up, no problems, but I may have to cut that off. Don't know what I'm doing here. This is a point of no return. because I'm very happy with this piece. It seems that the back that I was working on isn't as good as the front. That's okay. Make a decision later on whether that piece needs to come off. But I've got a nice triangle cut here. If I use the back, I've got this kind of weird. I could go for a full black opal, but that's boring. Quite frankly, it's boring. I think it's more marketable as a full black opal. Yes, I agree. But I think I'll cut it as a full opal, and like we can take the bit off later, can't we? We can totally take the bit off later. There's a comment section, so you can go say, cut off the grey bit, or keep the grey bit, or, don't give up your day job. All right, so what I'll do is I'll put this onto the Dopstick, and I'll polish the back first. Then I'll polish the front, and we'll see what it looks like. So, comment section, tell me what to do next. Dr. Phil out.